C into g of n. G of n is nothing but nq plus 10. So see the power, so this part is already, if you see clearly, this part is already less as compared to this part. So this part is greater, and this part is this part is going to be lesser always for every value of n. This part will always be greater. So you don't need to prove anything in this case, because if you take c equal to 1, so it is already true. It is already true. So you don't need to prove anything. So let me write n raised to power 4. N raised to power 4. Whether I can write this or not. So let us try to understand. So let's say n raised to f of n is nothing but n raised to power 4 less than or equal to c into g of n is nothing but nq plus 10. So in the previous lecture we have already told, if in this case dominating term is n raised to power 4, means variable the power of both the variables are different, and this part will always be greater. So this part can never be proved. This part can never be proved less for the large value of n. Means, let me explain it clearly. Means this is already big function. This is already big function. But here, if you substitute, let's suppose n equal to 100, n equal to 100. So this part is already greater. You cannot prove. So maybe 100 onwards, if you try to put, if you try to substitute values, so this part will always be greater. So this condition is not going to be true. So that is the reason I cannot write f of n is big of g of n for this particular function. Correct? Okay. So let us assume another function. F of n is n square. G of n is n raised to power 5. Now, so this function is already less. This function is already greater. So what I can write, f of n is big of g of n. This is true. I can establish the relationship between these two functions. Now, for next question, f of n is n raised to power 7 and g of n is n raised to power 6. Let's suppose I am considering this. So let's suppose let me write 10 raised to power 8. Okay, so I know that power is not same and this function is greater. So if I write f of n equal to big O of g of n, so this is not possible because this function cannot be lesser. See what I'm trying to say means when power will be same, only in that case we can calculate the value of c and n0. Otherwise it is not possible to calculate, it is not possible to prove the bigger function lesser. See, this is already big function, then I cannot prove. It means what? But in this case power is not same, but this part is already lesser. That is the reason I do not need to do anything, because I have to prove what? I have to prove this part lesser. So this is already lesser. But in this case what is happening? F of n is greater. F of n is greater. Then I cannot prove this greater part this greater part lesser. Means what is happening? So this is the big value, and what you are trying to prove that this part should be smaller, and this is not actually possible. So let us try to understand one more example. So f of n is, let's say, n raised to power 100 plus 10 raised to power 9. So this is actually constant. G of n is n raised to power 101. Let's suppose this is something value. So this, we know that if you see function, if you see functionally, see this part is obviously this function is lesser function, and this is the big function, and this is a small function. So this part is this part you can consider a small, and this part you can consider this function you can say this is the big function and this is a small function. So see, now if I write f of n is big omega of g of n, is it true or not true? So obviously, because omega is what? Greater than. Greater than means what? You have to prove this part greater, and this part cannot be greater than, because this is a small function and this is a greater function. So if you prove omega condition is nothing but f of n greater than c dot g of n. So f of n is what? F of n is n raised to power 100 plus 10 raised to power 9 greater than c into g of n. G of n is what? G of n is nothing but n raised to power 101. So see, you are trying to prove the small function as a greater part, but this is this part is already greater, and you cannot prove actually. So this is not possible for this particular case. This cannot be written. Okay, so let me give you one more example. F of n, let's suppose n raised to power 5 plus 100, and this is g of n raised to power let's say 5. See, now in this case power is same for both the variable, power is same. So that is the reason we can calculate what? We can calculate n0 and c value. So let us understand. So if you try to see f of n less than, not less than, because we are proving omega, so omega of g of n. So f of n is what? N raised to power 5 plus 100 greater than equal to c dot g of n. G of n is nothing but n raised to power 5. And if you see this part is already greater, so it can be written. So this is possible. So this is possible in this case. So this is possible. Okay, so this is all about big O notation, and big omega notation. Okay, let us try to understand the example with the help of graph. So let us talk about the big O notation. So let's suppose, so this is the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so this is the f1 function. This is what? Let's suppose f1 function, f of n function. It is f of n function, and let's say there is another function g of n. So if you substitute 1, so it may increase, sometimes it may decrease. If you substitute 2, it may increase, it may decrease, it may increase, it may decrease. If it is big O notation means what? F of n will always be less than equal to g of n for value of c, So means this part will always be less than, and this part will always be greater than. So after some point or after one particular value, this part will be lesser, and c into g of n is going to be greater always. So this from this particular value, this f of n is always less than c dot g of n. So this is what the meaning. So this particular value is called as n0, means n0 is the initial value for which this function is being true for all the values. So this is the initial value. Okay, so this is big O notations. If you talk about the big omega notations, let us understand what is big omega notation. Big omega notation. What is big omega notation? We know f of n is big omega of g of n if and only if f of n greater than equal to c into g of n. This is the condition we have to remember if you want to prove this. So this is the condition through which you can prove. Now, so if you understand in terms of graph, so let us say n value is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let's suppose you are starting with f1 function. So this is your f1 function, and after some time maybe you are starting with gn also. So for if you substitute g n equal to 1, so it may increase, g of n may decrease, it may increase, sometimes it may increase, decrease. And from this particular value, which function is going to be true? So obviously f of n is going to be true from this particular value, and c dot g of n is going to be lesser, means this part is going to be greater for n0 onwards. So this is the initial value from where it is going to be true for all the values of n. So this is what the big omega notations. So this is big omega notations if you talk about this in terms of graph. So let me talk about the theta notation also. What is theta notation? So theta notation means what? We have to prove the both the conditions. Theta notations means we have to prove what conditions? First we have to prove f of n is big of g of n. We have to prove, it means what? F of n should be less than equal to c into g of n. This is what we have to prove. Second is what? We have to prove f of n is big omega of g of n. If I want to prove this, means what should be the condition? For in order to prove this condition, f of n greater than c into g of n would be the condition. So let us talk about in terms of graph. What is the graph for this theta notations? So let's suppose if you are talking about, so f of n, let's suppose this is the f of n and this is the initial value for f of n. If you say I want